is Paul Stewart with Auto Apps. Today you're looking at Service Connect with the Vehicle Life Plan built into both the active vehicles in the shop, into follow-up, and then also history. So if you just simply right-click on the vehicle, it brings up the Vehicle Life Plan. And the way we design this Life Plan is for you to be able to print it out before the customer gets there and go over the services they've got done. If they've done, I'm going to show you one that's just defaults, your most common defaults, and it's how it's broken down into maintenance service and vital fluid services, tire service. We're going to track the annual mileage. In this case, this is a 2008 car, 62,400 miles on it, only driving about 3,800 miles a year. We can see by simply clicking on the oil change, it's going to go to history and to your active invoices and show every time you did an oil change. And you can see she's pretty consistent coming in. It looks like she's skipped a year, so we want to be able to really stay on top of the follow-up and at least have her come in every 6 months. So we can check the car out, make sure the tire pressure is good, and just take over the car. So all you have to do is double-click on the job, and it's automatically going to add the last service date, the mileage, and then calculate the next due date. So we're either going to do 3,000 miles or 6 months, whichever comes first. So it's going 6 months out. And since they're only driving about 1,900 miles, it's going to calculate. It's intelligent enough to calculate the mileage that it would be at August 6th. We could click on tire rotation to see if we've done a tire rotation. You see we haven't. And you can go through. Now you do have access to history. So you can look at all their history. In this case, I can see we did alignment. You have the ability just to drag and drop that alignment in, and it'll automatically just put the date it was done and the mileage that it was done. And you can see in this case too that she had some decline items. You could put those in there. In this case, she looking at this, we did a power steering flush, and I just click on that. You can see the date, but I can see that we haven't done any of the other services. So in this case, if I want to talk to her about the maintenance needs, the fact that the car's got 62,000 miles, it'd be a good idea to do the coolant and the transmission and the brake flush, and let's say she doesn't do it then, you could go ahead and just copy this and talk to her about doing it the next time she brings her car in, and you're able just to paste those straight in. I can go ahead and copy the mileage that would be at that mileage, and now we have a plan that we're building for this customer. If she had done her tires somewhere else, or she'd gotten a battery done, then you can easily add any of those service dates and the mileage that got done straight off a Carfax history lookup or talking to the customer, but allows you to be able to print it out, talk to the customer about their service intervals, what you recommend for her driving habits of that car, how you should be bringing the car in every 6 months, just so we can take a look at it and make sure everything's good. Or if you just wanted to print a summary, then you can do that with just the mileage intervals and the next due date. Now, this plan can be built and designed any way your shop would do it. If I wanted to include more things into this plan, I could click on adding the timing belts and adding brake services. So we can have a really basic plan, or we can go in as much detail as we would like. So this is the Vehicle Life Plan that takes just a few minutes to fill out once. Once you've set the intervals, then it has that for the life of that vehicle coming into your shop. Because it's tied to follow-up, anytime you update the life plan, it also will update the follow-up inside of the system. So now you'll have a way of being able to follow up to your customers any of the services due based on the life plan itself. But let's say there was a customer that called you, they're coming in, I can just jump to history. Let's say Alan, you're talking to Alan on the phone, and you want to talk to him about his Cadillac Escalade, and you bring up his life plan. Now you can see that he's overdue for his oil change. You can see the linking that's in the follow-up. He's also behind on other services. So now we can go ahead, before the customer gets here, we can have this printed out. You could see it in more detail. If I turned on all the detail and went to print this out, you would see how the customer, he's overdue on all his fluids except the brake service because just had a brake job done. We're able to see everything built into the plan and everything, and when the last service dates of each one was. So again, this lets you tie your digital inspections, your history they've done elsewhere, and be able to see everything that goes with that vehicle before the car even gets there. So the life plan is easy to use, easy to update, and then it's built into follow-up where we can go in and actually review closed invoices and look at that life plan and update that life plan after the vehicle has been gone. So this is AutoApps, the new vehicle life plan, allowing you really to be able to plan needed service, catch-up service, and future service for each one of your customers where it's tied to their specific needs and their specific vehicle. Thank you, and look forward to working with you.